77 podcast show. Victory for the Blazers on the road. 108-106. Last second shot by Jeremy Grant. Yeah, he walked, but we won. Doesn't matter. Game's over. They'll do it again tomorrow in Phoenix. Back-to-back games against the Suns. Blazers take the first one without Dame and Ant. Shaedon Sharpe starting for the second time. Let's get right into game analysis with Bo Deasy. All right, so the end of the game, Jeremy Grant has the ball, or did he have the ball? Was he gathering the ball, and did he travel for the game-winning shot?
Looked like a botch play. He did the best that he could do with it. To me, it looked like time should have started a little sooner. It didn't look like that's a full second, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, Eddie Johnson of the Phoenix Suns said that the shot clock guy should have started the clock a little bit sooner. But in real time, when you're on there, it looked like he was trying to gather the ball, which you can walk when you haven't gathered the ball, but he did gather the ball. It was a travel, but,
On the replay, it was clear it was out of his hands. So,
yeah.
Again, I mean, what you can't – sometimes those go against you. Sometimes they go for you. And tonight went the Blazers' way. So
it was great, but it was kind of I guess maybe on the road, it was kind of what just happened? Did he travel? I saw the close-up of the Suns bench, and then all of a sudden the Portland bench is all the way down on the other side.
Yeah, someone over there definitely saw the replay, and that got out of his head quick because I wasn't sure either. I was waiting for the end to see the slow motion.
All right, Blazers win 106-108 in Phoenix on the road without their two backcourt mates. Overall, what did you think of the game?
A great game, fun from start to finish. Even as a someone who doesn't watch a lot of basketball, that's the game you want to watch. Now, clearly from a fan's perspective or Honk's perspective of the game, it was super fun. Their team had the lead most of the time. Started to choke it up a little bit towards the end, but there was never really that sense of doom. When you look at this team in this game, especially Jeremy Grant emerging as the third option, behind the two guys that were on the bench tonight, either between him and Nurk. It's one of those guys for the third and fourth option. Take your pick. And then after that, you've got a whole set of guys who just have their role, embrace their role, do what they have to do, are tough-nosed, never stop, just a likable group. So, again, this is just a really fun team to watch, win or lose. And I think, people might think we're a little biased because we haven't done any of these wrap-up shows after losses. We will, but just so happens that, we're on the winning end of it. So super fun season ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited. Also in this game without their two superstars, I'm looking here at the minutes off the bench. Eubanks played 23, Little played 23, and Keon Johnson played 23. That's a good rotation for when you have two guys out. And I noticed when Walker was in the game, he played 9 minutes, but he just hustled, made plays. And I noticed the length. They can grab rebounds, hustle, swap the ball away. They never stop. So I think that took the Suns by surprise. They were quicker, and it was mentioned on the broadcast a couple times too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The defense, good defense like that, which everyone seems to want to play. You don't watch this team and say, oh, this guy's lazy, or oh, he doesn't want it. They all do. So really, really nice product that the front office has put together, because you can tell that they went after a certain kind of guy. Yeah. And we've got a team full of that guy. And it's exciting.
Yeah, it's a pretty big win on the road against the Suns, who are 6-2, and they're 5-1 at home, and they're considered NBA contenders. And these guys walk in without their two best players and take a game on a 6-game road trip. So that's a great start to the road trip. And Dame understands he's going to take his time to come back. It's only game 7, so let's go slow and let's watch these guys and coach these guys as they're playing.
When the game was tied there in the fourth quarter, I believe it was 101-101. And you could tell the Blazers went down on the possession, and Hart had the ball, and, he took a shot at the last second off balance. And it's Dame time. It's not Hart time.
Yeah.
So to be able to do it with that guy on the bench and guys stepping up, it might be Hart time sometime, but it's currently Dame time.
Hart is the rebound. He had 9 boards, 7 points. But when you have a shooting guard that can get you 9 rebounds, that's a great asset to any team. You're not looking for your shooting guard to get nine rebounds. Also, Sharp. Um, I don't want to get too hyped up and make him Vince Carter and Brandon Roy all in 2 games. He's a young guy that hasn't played organized basketball in probably 2 years. Now he's just playing in the NBA. So he's gonna get it. He's gonna have times where he does look lost on the floor, but he started. He has 10 points, but he'll get there.
Every time I've seen Sharp make a mistake on the court, which you're going to see a lot, no matter where you're playing, no matter who you are, you're going to make those mistakes. But every mistake that I've seen hasn't turned into a disaster. Sometimes you see these young players make mistakes and they get away for a 5 or 7 or 9 point run, whatever. Every time Shaedon Sharp makes a mistake, it's nipped in the bud, and that's a credit to his teammates and to himself. After these mistakes that he's made, he doesn't get down. There's no bad body language. So absolutely, to your point, yes, he is going to make a mistake, but as it started, those mistakes haven't blossomed.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% that he doesn't hang his head. He seems like he's even keel. I guess that's kind of a Brandon Roy trait, where you just keep going and don't get too upset, set the ball down, and go on to the next play. So on here on my notes, I have Grant. I mean, everyone takes Jeremy Grant. He did go to Detroit, was a leading scorer, so he can run a team, and he did step up tonight. And again, I watched the Phoenix Suns broadcast, so Eddie Johnson brought up the fact like Grant just has to keep going. He doesn't want to let the team down and lose. What do you think about Grant's game tonight?
Beautiful. You could tell that he took over tonight, knew that they were going to need a little bit extra from him. I'm not sure. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I believe he went 2 for 6 or 7 from 3. If you can check that for me, something like that. It's fine. Again, I've mentioned before, I think if you're the other team, you're fine with Jeremy Grant taking a 32-foot shot. You're okay with that. So from the perspective of the other team, that's what you want. That's not necessarily what I think is going to benefit this team the most. That we've talked about this before, but yeah, tonight he was outstanding, and he knew. And these guys are waiting for the moment to get to the next level. He went up to that next level tonight. That's just what his team needed.
Yeah, all around points. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in double figures. 20, like I said, 23 minutes, even minutes off the bench. And one of my questions is always Nurk. And Chauncey went with him down the end of the game, and he came through shooting threes, but he took himself out of the game emotionally a little bit, and then got back into it and lowered his head and did some went at Ayton with 5 fouls, which you should do. What would you have kept running with Nurk, or would you have taken him out?
So as you watch the Phoenix broadcast, I watched the Blazer broadcast. On the Blazer broadcast, they had a graphic. How many threes do you think Nurk will take tonight?
Nice.
0, 1, 2, more than 3. And I always choose B there. So I by default landed on 1. And when he made that second shot, boy, there's a big smile on my face because he didn't think twice about it. I mean, it was great. Nurk turned around after he made that and had a nice little sly smile to the bench. He's not scared of the moment. So
Yeah.
I must say that with this group, I feel very secure with Nurk holding it down. If he's got to take that shot, he will. But let me just say that, we don't give the other teams too much shine, as the kids say. We talk about the home team a lot, and that's what we're here for. But boy, I'm a big Ayton fan, man. He's just solid. I love Ayton. He's big, he's strong, he's smart. Really enjoy watching him play.
Yeah, I'm an Aiton fan. Have him in fantasy, and he was injured, but he is back tonight playing against the Blazers. So he was sitting on my fantasy bench, which is kind of good for against the Blazers. But
You did that on purpose because you're rooting
yeah,
for the team,
I don't
right?
like to mix fantasy and real life.
Yeah, that's good.
That is good. All right, my favorite off the bench Blazer Nazir Little. Love everything about it. Shoot the three, he can pass it. He's a team player. What did you see out of Little tonight?
Nazir went on a great run there in the second. It was the second quarter, and he had a three, and he was out hustling. It was faster than everyone tonight. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Nazir Little. Actually, speaking of Nazir, I don't know if this is, I'm not around the team. I'm not in the clubhouse. I'm not childhood friends with Nazir Little, but on the broadcast, the Memphis broadcast the other night, excuse me, it was an ESPN game against Memphis that we did not get to discuss.
Yeah.
The analysts kept referring to him as Nas. They said Nas Little, Nas Little, Nas Little. It was about 5 or 6 times before I thought that maybe I missed the bus. Maybe they call him Nas Little, but I don't know him well enough to call him Nas Little. I don't know if he goes by Nas Little. I'm not sure where they got their cue cards from, but I'm going to continue to call him Nazir.
I missed that broadcast. Was it Mark Jones from downtown calling him
I
Nas
believe
Little?
it was Mark Jones.
Mark Jones.
Now, if I could just get it off my chest, it's funny when you hear these guys talk about your team on the national broadcast, because you can just feel the cue cards being passed to them. This is what they did. This is what they had for breakfast.
Yeah.
This is where they live, right? They know nothing about it. So it's a little bit amusing to see it, but yes, it was, I believe, Mark Jones.
I think it might have been the Mark and Mark show. Mark Jones and Mark Jackson.
I think it was double marked up. Everyone fumbles over their words. I've fumbled over my words 20 times in the last 5 minutes. That's fine. But I do want to note that some of them are rather amusing. Tonight, with Justice Winslow starting the game, and just about every game, Chauncey comes out with something that the other team hasn't seen before. Now, this was obviously in the works with Winslow starting, but I have noticed him starting different defenses to start a half, just to get the other team looking a little bit confused. This is something I've noticed he does. But anyway, a couple of the caller miscues when Justice started tonight. The Portland home announcer called him Justin Winslow, which that works too. Justin Winslow, I get it. He was surprised too by the start. And then another funny miscue that I noticed tonight is Landry Shamet. Plays for the Phoenix Suns, and he went up and he missed a dunk earlier. And this wasn't a pun or the announcer being funny. He claimed that Shamet tried to jam it. And those are my announcer miscues for tonight.
All right, that's our show for tonight. See you in the Valley of the Suns again tomorrow night as they take on the Phoenix Suns on the road, a 6-game road trip. Uncle Cliffy, welcome to the 77 Podcast Show.
I'm really proud to be here.